Well, my project today is to try and capture this lovely scene, which is in York, in the north of England. Very old buildings at night scene. So I've got the challenge there of trying to, I've got to obviously get my darks right, but I've got to try and maintain and catch the light. Obviously this window and the wet street here, the lights and the windows there, but also the warmth here, sort of umber and little red, little pink there, little yellow. There's lots of features in this which can be a problem because they're so complicated, but I think I'll have to simplify, which is, I think we've got to go about this, and the striking red umbrella there, which adds a lot of drama to it. So how am I going to do it? You notice I've already sketched out a rough layout of it, but as I said, it's so complicated. I think I'm just going to do it in a series of washes, different colours, just put in the main wash, and then when it's dry I'll emphasize some of these shapes by thick darker paint. But I think whenever I do, I've got to keep this light. So I think we'll get straight on there, and with my mop brush give this a bit of a soak all through, a little wetting. So I've got to get these warm elements down here in the light, and then a little bit darker washes in this area, just in elements of it anyway. There's windows and doorway there, and the street scene here, and in the distance we've got an old building there which is also catching some street lights. So let's just get this washed in. This is £140 paper. You notice I've got it taped down to try and stop it buckling. It's fairly light though, not the best paper I think I've had, but we'll see how it goes. You can probably see a bit of shine on it there. Let's let that soak in a moment. While I think about my washes. We've got the convention in watercolour is we move from light, do our lighter layers and then darker. So light, dark, so I'm going to get my lights in. I'm making a nice wash of some rose, I suppose rose madder colour. I think I ought to wake up some of my paints in my palette here, which I haven't painted for a couple of weeks, so I need to drop some water into them to wake them up. Right, and also remember that watercolour will dry a lot lighter, so it's a question of how do you judge that. So I've got a little bit of madder here with touches of purple, so I think let's just put in a general wash here, and a little bit of, I could add a little bit of yellow as well, I think. some little warmer colours. And this is a sort of wet on wet technique, which I'm doing here. So it bleeds, gives you lots of soft edges. And I think we could put a little bit of, I think we need a little bit of a yellower, a little bit of warm light in there, along there. And this is just to give me a background. We've got to try and deal with the wet of this road, this path here. So I think we'll leave that for the moment. But just along here and here, I've got reflection of the street lamp. So I need to preserve some of that lightness. So I just lift off with a bit of tissue here, and up beyond my pedestrians here. And that light coming on that pavement there. So I think we'll go with that. But now I need to get a lot darker down here on this margin. So I'm going to go for a little bit of Payne's grey, a little bit of blue, cobalt blue, sort of greyish, making a greyish tone. Let's put a bit of ultramarine perhaps. Yes, that will do. I don't want it too dark because it'll be too oppressive if I do that. But I've got to judge this. This is really about the tonal values. Really, this is the dark of the sky here. Paint around my light there. So we've got to judge this very carefully how we do this. This is really quite dark here. Dark bits of the old timber frame buildings. This was all very dark. I think we need to step that up a little bit. And along here, all these elements, big signs here. So I think we could go with that. And more dark in here on the pavement here. There are parts of this building. Lots of darks in here everywhere. So I'm just going to get my general wash in. I can put more dark in there later, perhaps. Got all these dark timbers, which I think I'll deal with later with a thicker mix when it's a little bit drier, so I've got sort of more control of it. And we've got darks here and these timbers coming down. And our pedestrian there as well. I think I'll go for a little bit more colour in there. A little bit of purpley light. We can do that. Still maintain some lights. Yes, I think we could do that. Say, it doesn't look much now, but you'd be surprised when we put some more tones in and get a little bit more definition. It's good to squint your eyes too and see what you're doing, whether you're getting all these darks in the right place. So I think, yes, under this is shop windows here, doorways and coming along here, but I could be in some of the reflected light though with gouache. I might just do that later. So I'm going to let this dry for the moment before we go in with a finer brush to try and give some details of some of these structures that I've got. I need a lot darker in some of these places. I think I need to get some more Payne's grey going. And I think we could darken up our night sky here between these buildings, looking out. All these old buildings are overhanging the street below. Right, so I'm going to let that dry for a little before we get on to some of the other finer details. So we'll let that dry for a moment. Well, you'll see it's dried a little bit now, and I'm going to now put in some of the finer points to try and make it read a little bit better. I can move my camera a little bit, get a better view. Yes, I think that should do it. So let's get on with a nice thick blacky blue, a little bit of Payne's grey. I don't use straight black. I mix my own blacks with Payne's grey and ultramarine, even sometimes a little bit of red. So we put in some more colour here, and a drawer here. So let's get some nice blacks going. Right down here. In my reference picture, now this is really quite black. You can barely see into it to see exactly what it is, but they're all different parts of the timbers, and so we've got to try and capture some of the essence of that. Along here, black here, and signage overhanging, little bits of timber work. And this window here, let's get some of the glass in. Right, and then we've got a lot of structures. Wood, another window here. And this bit of the building is overhanging here as well. roadway goes right up here. And the pathway with the cobbles, the flagstones, slowing. We've got more windows up here. Another one in the distance there, this building. There's lots of signs sticking out here. There's a window here too. Um, try and get some linear elements in it so we can see how it's going back. This curb line coming in here. There's a lot of overhanging buildings here. It's just far too much detail to put in, so we have to kind of suggest it if we can. There's, let me think. This is a big window coming across here. Let's see if I can get some of that in. Sort of Dickensian scene here. Old curiosity shop style. Tricky. Yes. There's a little bit of pinky colouring showing in some of these. Some of these plasterwork here. Let's do that. And I think a little bit of yellow ochre we can put in parts here. A bit more colour in there, I think. Browns and yellows. Vary the tones. And let's get some more colour in here. And these bit of colour there. Got that big window to deal with. How shall I do that? I think I need to... It's too white at the moment. Need some colour in this brickwork here. Still see some colour, although it's dark. It's the dark of a roof there. Just put that in. I need some darker bits of paint there, I think. Block out some of these. Need to bring this street down. Oops. There's another window here as well. lots of signage here. The ironwork, scroll work. More shop windows down there. This, what I got there, I think I need more of the building, more structure there. I seem to have, yes, let me see, I think I haven't really put that in yet, the shape. This timber coming down here. Better. Tend to come together slowly. Got to get the pedestrians in here somewhere. With that lovely right umbrella, which was on a reference. Let's put them in right now where we can still see them. On my reference was here. Got a hair coming out of my brush there. Get rid of that. We've got another person here under this umbrella, which will be put in a moment. Got her head up inside there, hiding away. A lot of slabs and cobbles here. We could into some more house structures here. Right, let me see, how is it coming together? Let's put some yellow into this. kind of suggest a little bit of light here. Go for a bit of warmth. Even a little bit here. It's quite warm down towards the end there. There's a little bit of warmth from the street lights. Contrast with all this black and dark that we have in the foreground. Let's just consult my reference again. Let's put in our umbrella. Hide it away under there. Just give some bit more shape and colour to our pedestrian there. Catching a little bit of light there. This is a very loose interpretation, actually. As I said, there was so much detail in it. I couldn't really possibly do all of it. So you have to try and improvise somewhat to suggest it. Got some colour, some brick colour here. Just put a bit more colour in this building here. Also, I think I need to, looking at the reference again, I can see we need more definition in places. Definitely. Let's tidy up a little bit on some of these windows. Don't want them all to be too prominent though. coming together gradually. I think black area here. If you put more and more detail, it starts to read a little better, but then if you do too much, that can be counterproductive as well. So you don't want to do too much of that, just enough to be able to read more into it. I think I need to have a little bit of building showing here. I think I can make a little, yes, I think I need to make that central section a lot darker. Let's get some dark in there, looking up to the sky. Right, now let me think. There actually is a bit of warmth along some of these, little warm colour coming in, a little bit of brown there. I think we need a bit of dark in here though. As I say, this is a very, very loose painting, But it's interesting to experiment sometimes. You do it loose and you think, no, it's too loose, and then you start to tighten up by putting more details in, and you can certainly change the emphasis of it somewhat. So I think I could take a lot more time actually, and try and put some more darks in. For instance, here, lots of overhangs which I have missed. And you can change the nature of it. If you've never been to York, you could have a very nice excursion there. There's so much to see. There's the famous railway museum, where you can see Stephenson's rocket, the birth of the modern railways. Got another sign here sticking out from the buildings. Lots of nice shops here. You can Now, is it time for me to put in some more gouache? Bring up some lights. Perhaps I should. These windows were actually very, very wonky. In reality, that's the way they are. Just sticking out over these road. Another sign here, let's put one in there. Got to make sure I've got a bit of reflection from our pedestrian here. Put the legs in there. Coat. I think our pedestrian needs a bit darker there as well, and this one has got a nice reflection as well. Make sure your reflection joins up with your subject. Ah, yes. I think I need to try and improve on some of these elements here. Vary the reflections. Yes, it's more in the shadow under the shop frontage. For instance, it comes out like this. Got the curb coming up here. This all helps your eye go in, takes you into the painting. So we've got some darks here as well. Helps it read. Yes, it goes like this. Also overhangs here too. Lots of timbers. And add some details, some textural elements to it. Let me think. Yes, I can see it's good to be very detached sometimes and look at your reference and be on your guard about painting what you think you know. It's in your mind's eye, but you have to paint what you see, not what you know or you think you know. For instance, under those windows there's some dark along the street as the street disappears to the right. Right. Now I think perhaps I should get some gouache out and just see if we can add some lights, I think. And above this, oh yes, we had some very odd timber shapes. Yes. Oh, I know. I haven't got enough dark in some of these elements here. And also, I think let's darken up on some of those timbers. Got some I know, I can just see now I need more darks here. Little glazed dark there on this wall. I'm using a little bit of dry brush here to give me a little bit of light. Now, should I put a bit of, yes, let's get onto the gouache. Oh, knocked my microphone off. Hold on. Just pick that up. There you go. Right, let's get the my gouache, which will give me a little bit more punch to some of the pictures. If I put it up against something dark, I think we need a small brush so we can put in some marks for the window frames. So let me get a small from my collection over here. Yes, here I have yes, this is what I need. I've got a little brush here. Don't know what number that is. A little more. No, it's so old it's lost its number. But a small round one anyway. So let's get some gouache. Let's squeeze a bit out onto my palette there. Right. Oh, I know where we can put some. We need to have some on our window frames. I think that might tighten it up a little bit. Yes, that's what we need. Just a little bit of dry brush, really. Catching some of the light, the street light. Not too much, mustn't overdo it. I think along here, and all these windows here, and certainly some white in some of these. That's better. Yes, it's giving it a little bit of light now, and I can see, oh yes, there was just along here a white door. Let's get something in there. Well, that's my finished painting of the Shambles in York in the UK. I've done quite a bit since my camera died. I've put in some lights with some gouache here on these window frames, catching the light and the light of this window here, and tightened up a little bit on the structures on the timber frames, making them a bit more realistic. Done quite a bit of work on the reflections as well. Put some white in here to reflect this street light here coming down. It's a rainy day. So generally changed some of the detail and the tones. Put sort of hint of purple in the sky here, blue and black purple, and the fronts of these buildings a little bit more colour. But anyway, if you like this, please give me a like and a subscribe button if you want to see more of them. As I said, this is just a fairly loose interpretation, and but it's experimental really, just to see if you can tighten it up by being a bit more detailed and controlled over some of the construction of the details. But it's just an experimentation anyway, so I hope you liked it.